Yes, yes, yes. This video was recommended by my awakened side of my fan base. Nah. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sending out a lot of love. This video is by Modern Initiate. What? I said that so wrong, but it's Intuitionist. Wow. Okay. Hiccups aside, we are on the road to 500,000, so subscribe if you enjoy the video. Of course, I'm going to give my own personal stories with Synchronicity after, maybe, or in the middle, depending on when it gets into the meat and potatoes of what Synchronicities are. But let's see what they have to say. And without further ado, thanks for watching, and let's hop in.
One of the most common ways to dismiss an idea is to say, it's just a coincidence. But how do we know if something really is a coincidence? It's something that even scientists struggle with. When you think of a scientist, you probably imagine a very logical person, someone who accepts facts and observation above all else. But that's not always the case.
No.
Let me show you what I mean.
Synchronicity in numbers.
Try to remember the
Uncovering
first time you
patterns.
looked at a picture of the Earth. You probably noticed that it looked a lot like pieces of a jigsaw puzzle that fit together.
That's
They look
because
like
it was
this because at one point,
Pangea, yeah.
connected
Okay.
in one supercontinent
Where is he
called
going?
Pangea, about 100 million years ago. And over time, the pieces broke apart and moved away from each other to create the world as we see it today. This idea is called continental drift.
Okay. We're
This
getting
seems
into
obvious
stuff
to
we
us
learned
now,
in school.
But there was a time when it wasn't obvious to everyone, and it wasn't obvious to most scientists.
Okay, I see where it is going.
In the early 1900s, almost no one believed that continents could move or shift around. To explain this, many scientists believe that there was once a huge bridge of land that connected Africa and South America, a bridge that somehow disappeared without a trace.
Wait.
But a German
Kind of like Atlantis.
geophysicist named Alfred Wegener believed that
Alfred
Africa and
Wegener.
South America seemed to fit together like puzzle pieces precisely because they were connected at one point in one huge mass of land. To test his theory, Wegener looked at the rocks and fossils on the coasts of Africa and South America, and he found that they were remarkably similar. In 1912, he published his findings in his theory of continental drift.
Yeah, that's.
You'd think that the scientific community embraced...
I cannot wait to see how he ties this into Synchronicity. Cause like what?
We all started as one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That I say that, and then I end the video. We're all God, split into many humans. Goodbye. Ends the video.
all this evidence, but they didn't. Most scientists dismissed it as just a coincidence.
They dismissed it as just
In
coincidence.
fact, the idea was so controversial, and scientists were so
love
threatened
doing that
by Wegener's
shit.
findings.
People that died in horror movies first.
Huh?
These are the same people that died in horror movies first.
Facts. Bro, they love dismissing things they don't understand as mere coincidence. I'm telling you, man.
The American Association of Petroleum
Scientists are
Geologists
supposed to be
held a
curious
forum for the sole
go
purpose
for
of
it,
trying
like
to
he
tear
was.
down the continental drift theory,
Damn it.
all
See?
because it didn't fit their worldview.
Yes. Actually, let me talk about this. Y'all ready for this? Sounds like I'm about to like do a hip hop track. That is exactly why. Hey, I hope my video does not get flagged with this, so YouTube don't do it. The planar Earth theory is not real. I'm gonna say that because your video will get tagged with, like, if you say Earth. So yeah, just like when the vid was getting tagged on everyone's video. That is the same reason the government, if you didn't know, attack people who talk about flat Earth theory. Is it doesn't fit their worldview of what they're trying to portray. So that's why they attack theory so hard. I figured that because that just made me think about that. Because in Holographic Universe, they did that to your boy. Well, his theory wasn't attacked. It was someone who came up with Hollow Earth theory back in the day. Like, there was evidence that really showed that it was what he was talking about, and the boy Albert didn't want to accept it.
Think about that for a second. Scientists, people we expect to be logical and driven by facts, all
They're
got
supposed to be
together
driven by
reject an idea
curiosity too. Why
just
is it
because they didn't like
logic?
it.
Facts.
even though there was a huge amount of evidence to support that it was true.
Yep.
And they did this even though it's something so obvious
Even
that even a child could notice.
notice.
It wasn't until the 1950s, almost 40 years later, that the scientific opinion began to change.
Damn.
And the scientific community began to accept Wegener's continental drift concept.
Please
What
tell
this
me.
shows
I kind of want to go look this up. I hope he was alive to witness that, because it took them 40 years to accept his theory. God damn, and that's how it mostly happens. That's
is that the
fucking
fact
crazy.
that South America and Africa look like puzzle pieces that fit together wasn't a coincidence at all. The history of science
It's
is filled with examples
like this,
just
yeah.
like this.
Okay.
And this alone should make us skeptical whenever so-called experts dismiss something
As
just a coincidence.
Yeah, just a coincidence.
In the words of the Nobel Prize-winning physicist Percy Williams Bridgman,
Is this the noble?
coincidence is what you have left over after you've applied a bad theory. And this shouldn't be all that
I
surprising.
like that. I like that.
Because
I'm not
according
gonna
to
pause
German
it.
philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer, all truth passes through three stages.
All truth passes through
First,
three
it's
stages.
ridiculed.
First, it's ridiculed.
Second, it's violently opposed.
It's violently
And
opposed.
third, it's accepted as self-evident.
That
And what this
is
suggests
fire.
is that we should be very careful about immediately dismissing things
as mere,
as mere
coincidence.
coincidence.
Exactly. I love that.
And it also has important implications for many of the things we experience
In our
in our
lives.
everyday lives.
Yep.
Things we might be tempted to dismiss as just a coincidence. Take, for example, the real-life story
Paul
of Paul Gretchen. Paul had just started dating a woman named Esther.
Esther, stop playing. If this isn't gonna be Abraham Hicks. Abraham Hicks' real name is Esther. That's just strange. If it's about to go into that, I don't know. I just wanted to pause to say thank you for recommending this, because this is cool. I like being a break from gaming videos.
And he was thinking
and
about
everything
asking her
else.
to be his girlfriend. He was standing in a deli, paying for a sandwich, when he noticed a dollar bill with the name Esther on it. How strange, he thought to himself,
Yes,
that the name
okay.
Esther
We're gonna get to the
would appear
stories
at
that
the
I can
exact
give.
moment he was
thinking of their relationship.
For some reason, he decided not to spend it, and instead, he took the bill home with him,
Bill, oh, wow.
something he would never normally do. He decided that this dollar bill would be a funny gift for Esther, and so he put it in a frame, and he gave it to her on the day that he planned to ask her to make the relationship official. But when Esther unwrapped the frame with the dollar bill inside, she didn't laugh. She was absolutely speechless. As she stared at the dollar bill, she seemed shocked and confused.
Let me guess, her name wasn't on it?
After some silence, Paul told
what?
her that it wasn't quite the reaction he was hoping for. He asked her if something was wrong. Esther replied that everything was fine, and she happily agreed to date Paul exclusively. 2 years went by without any mention of the dollar bill. They grew closer, and Paul eventually proposed to Esther. They got married. And it wasn't until they moved into their new home together that Paul saw the dollar bill again. He was surprised that Esther had kept the dollar after all this time. It was only then that Esther finally revealed why she reacted the way she did to the bill all those years ago. It turns out that when she was 19 years old, she was in an unhappy relationship. It was ending, and in the middle of that breakup, she remembers thinking that she wasn't sure if true love was even real. She decided to leave her fate in the hands of the universe.
No
She took 10
way.
different $1 bills, and on each of them, she wrote her name. She said to herself, if I'm meant to find my true love,
See?
then one of these bills will
See?
end up in the hands of the man I will marry. And so
Come on. This is a simulation. Come on. That is fucking awesome, bro. That is literally what I'm talking about. Can I? Oh my god, I really want to tell you a story. Well, part of it, the picture. Okay, because it's like a synchronicity, but then it's like... that is so crazy, bro. That is what I'm saying. Nah, I don't have to tell your story. But that's just crazy because it's like when you pointed it out, you took a picture in front of a B and a J. It's just really weird. And then we could talk about all of our stuff, but let me think of a story real quick because I want to share one. This is insane. That is so dope. She wrote her name, and the many small synchronicities that were happening were like, he looked down, seen it, and she appeared. When he seen it was like a small little thing. Oh my gosh. What is the coolest? I have a lot of synchronicity stories. I kind of want a big one, but I'll do a short one because I want to finish this. That is fucking crazy. And she reacted like that because, yeah, just they was not going to say anything to see if they ended up getting married, which they did. Oh, that's so good. Oh, what's a wild synchronicity that I had? I suppose this was wild, but like I want to pick a cooler one because I have them. Oh man, I don't even know where to start. This just blew my mind because like that's insane. That was, she took a while. Your heart dropped? Yeah. That was, damn. Like that shows you right there. Like that's the thing where it's like science really can't, I feel like it's just one of those things. It's the whole like puzzle to life where it's like it's not meant to be understood. It's just meant to be experienced. Like, cause that is fucking magical. That's crazy. Fuck. I don't even know. We've had synchronicities together, like the angel numbers, but I don't even know where to start. Like we'll say something, look up, and then it'll be like 444. That, but that's becoming too common. I don't know. I don't even know where to start. And I'll see by the end of the video if I got one. But that's fucking clean, bro. That's so clean.
So when Paul gave her the dollar bill with her name on it, in that moment, she knew that she would marry him.
She'd marry him.
But she didn't want to reveal this so early in their relationship.
Yeah.
It's an astonishing and unlikely story. And as of today, Paul and Esther have been married for more than 19 years.
Wow.
And they have 3 children together.
It'd be really crazy if Esther was
Greg
the story
Lavoie
of
once
Abraham
said,
Hicks.
when you're on the right path, the universe winks and nods at you from time to time
to let you know.
Just to let you know.
That's a cool
once
quote.
you start noticing these little cosmic
clues,
once you understand that you're on a path at all,
you'll begin to see them everywhere. Exactly. I tell you, and Carl Jung, I don't even got to say anything. I told you. That's why it's not a cult. It's literally, that is exactly what happens. It's like a universally understood thing. Like once you realize it's like no other knowledge matters. You just like your path.
These clues are what Swiss psychologist Carl Jung called synchronicity. In 1952, Jung published a paper explaining that in the same way
cause and
effect
events
by cause and effect, we can also connect them by meaning.
I love this stuff.
Synchronicity happens when there's a meaningful coincidence. And we find it when an event in the world coincides meaningfully with a thought or feeling in the mind. Often, this happens when you're thinking of something, and then almost instantly, you notice something else that's connected to what you were just thinking or feeling. Like what happened when Paul Grachin found himself thinking about Esther and immediately noticing a dollar bill with her name on it. Why does this happen? Jung believed that life is not a series of random events, but rather an expression of a deeper order, which he called unus mundus. In fact, Jung's concept of unus mundus bears a striking similarity to Pythagoras' idea that everything in the universe is connected by a basic structure of numbers. According to Jung, we're all connected within a network that gives us a sense of universal wholeness. And this realization is more than just an intellectual exercise, it's a spiritual awakening. Jung says that synchronicity plays a role similar to that of dreams. And its purpose is to shift our conscious thinking to connect with this greater universal awareness. Jung is careful to point out that he's not denying that coincidences can happen. But at the same time, we also have to admit that there are some coincidences that are connected so meaningfully that their chances of happening would be so unlikely, so improbable, that they're virtually impossible to explain. And it's for this reason that we shouldn't ignore synchronicities when they happen. We should pay careful attention to them.
Yes.
Here's another
sir.
If you dream about someone one night,
You
and the
mu-
next
next
day
day
you
you
run
run
into
into
that
them.
same person, you should ask yourself, why is this person coming into my life at this moment? What does this mean, and what's the message I'm supposed to draw?
Yeah.
This takes us into a realm beyond the material world, and it
Oh
implies
my
a deeper
gosh.
and unseen order in the universe. Because in a much broader sense, our whole universe and life itself can be thought of as an almost impossible coincidence.
Yeah.
Many
yeah.
scientists have pointed out that the physical laws we see all around us seem to be perfectly arranged
Yeah. Just
in
the
just the
right
right
way.
way.
Yeah.
in order to support life as we know it.
Everything is balanced.
We also
so it's
know
like,
that
it's
there are
weird.
mathematical constants in nature all around us,
Mathematical constants.
like the speed of light and the strength of gravity. And all of these numbers seem to be just right for our universe
just right
to contain
for
life.
to contain life. Yeah,
If
man.
they were just a little bit different,
the universe would
collapse, or it wouldn't have the right chemical elements needed for stars
This is
or
why it'll
planets to
never
form.
end. There is no end.
It's a question worth asking. Is it just a coincidence that the laws of nature and the mathematical constants we see in the universe happen to be exactly the way they are, and that they just so happen to be arranged in a way that makes it possible to support life? This has led to what many scientists have called the idea of the fine-tuned universe.
Interesting.
And if we go even deeper, we find another type of synchronicity that shows up in relation to
numerology.
numbers.
According
According to numerology, when you see numbers that keep appearing in your life over and over again in different situations,
so the
and in
repetitive
different
numbers
ways,
or angel numbers.
it's not an accident. It's happening for a reason. In much the same way that a recurring dream can be understood as a message from your subconscious mind, a number that you keep seeing in your life can be understood as a message from the universe. But whether or not you take advantage of that message is entirely up to you. In numerology, these recurring numbers are called angel numbers,
Yep.
and they
here
can
it
give
is.
valuable clues into the opportunities
Yeah.
that already exist all around
Yep.
you. If you stay with me, in a future video, we'll go deeper into what
they
these
mean,
angel
yeah.
numbers mean, how to spot them,
Spot them. Yep.
and what they reveal about
Okay,
your
I'm
path.
gonna comment on
throughout
that
this-
real quick. Is like, I've never met anyone who, like, okay, like I can't say it because he's probably just saying how to spot them for the writing purposes, the script. But you never really spot them purposely. Like they just appear as if it's like by chance. Like you just look over, like you'll say something to a friend, all of a sudden whip out your phone, open it, and it's 333. It's like that. It just like appears to happen, but you're never like actively searching for them. And I've noticed that with synchronicities or signs or anything, when you're actively looking for them, they are all around you, but they are not present. But it's always when you're not or unconsciously looking for something, it'll appear.
life.
Always happens like that. Not sure why.
Have you noticed any strange or beautiful coincidences? in
Yes,
your life?
sir.
Let me know. in
Okay,
the
I actually do
comments.
got a story.
And if you enjoyed
It's
this
kinda
video,
weak, but
please
it's
give it a
kinda
like
good.
and subscribe. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm, and it helps me bring more content like this to you. Thanks so
Also,
much.
like quantum physics, particles act funny when you're not observing them directly.
Yup. I'm a freak. I wish I could tie in that, but I can't remember the quantum physicist or whatever it was that literally attended Neville Goddard's thing, and he helped him win the Nobel Peace Prize for that what is it, the unobserved atom or whatever. They figured it out though, which is insane. A dancer turned philosopher helped the motherfucking quantum physicist solve, well, technically, is it really solved? But yeah, solve the like particle that changes. Is it literally just an atom? Like it's atoms that change and
So it's
unchanging you.
electrons.
Okay. Story time. I think I'm gonna use this one. It's kind of weak. I wanted to use the pizza shop one where me and Ron went to Pudgy's, and like I think we were literally joking about it'd be crazy if someone paid for a pizza for us. But I always like get some detail wrong because I can't remember what we were thinking. But we were walking, literally saying, "Oh, this is a simulation. Like, it'd be really crazy if we just walked into the store and like someone bought the pizza." And when we went to go buy the pizza, we literally went to check our pockets and we both forgot like our wallet or our money And then that's when the guy came in behind us and literally bought our pizza for us. It was wild because I don't remember if he said something about pay it forward, but it was literally crazy because during the school year, my teacher told me, "Have you ever heard about paying it forward?" And then that whole thing happened, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I think there's a movie called Pay It Forward, but I can't remember. But if you don't know what paying it forward is, it's like someone does something like really nice for you in a moment, and then like that now puts on you, which you don't have to, but now that instance happens, you do it for someone else in the future, and then that person will do it for someone else, and like you tell them pay it forward or something like that. But that's what the dude did. Dude came in, literally bought us drinks, everything with it, and it was just like that. But I can't remember if he said pay it forward or that part of my mind is saying what I said to my bro, which was telling him about the event that happened with the teacher, going like, yo, that was like a pay it forward moment, because now like I would pay it forward. But that was kind of a weaker one. There's a better synchronicity, or like a weird like gut feeling, and this is the one with one of my friends, where there was someone we haven't seen in a while, but like the previous day, or I think it was the day of, we were walking down a specific street. Now this is still with my bro Ron, and in his stomach he got a really weird feeling. Like, we started talking about a specific person, kind of like the passing of my grandma, and then he was like, bro, I feel like we're being observed right now, like we're being watched. And normally he doesn't get like this because he doesn't care, but it was like an overwhelming anxious feeling of being like, we should not be taking this street. And I started getting it too, because you kind of start taking on what they take on, like you're like someone you're with, you start taking on their emotions. So we came to, literally funny, a railroad track, kind of symbolizing like two paths, and we could have went on 3 different streets from the one that we were going, but he likes to power through things, so he was like, you know what, fuck it, like maybe he's just feeling weird. Again, it kind of ignoring the sign, not paying attention to it, and literally the next second we take a step, somebody in a car drives by and yells to us like, yo, what's up? And they slow down and turn around, and they come back, and it's someone who just impactful. And then I just remember my bro, like, kind of like, I remember the action and everything. He like didn't stomp his foot, but he did this like leg stomp and a knee slap and snapped. It was like, I knew it. I knew we should have took a different street. And that was kind of like a wild synchronicity. But yeah, it was someone we haven't seen in a while, so it was a very interesting moment. But it was someone that we thought wanted nothing to do with us. But yeah, so that was cool. Wow, man, the synchronicity. I almost do want to tell your story of the picture, because the picture is kind of wild. No, but then I have to say, like, you.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Let's just say someone took a picture that had 2 letters in the background in order to who they dated. I don't know how to say it. Alright, much love and moonlight. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. This video was awesome. Send me more like this. And thank you. I'm out.